Up on the roof here at 985 Hall Road in Malabar, Rosaci's house. I made some notes up on the roof for you guys just so you could see and hear what I find when I'm walking around the roof. The first is just a reminder arrow to talk about the drip edge. So when we replace your new roof, we're going to replace this white drip edge that you see here with a new one. Just want to point that out. It could be either white or brown, but because the trim's white, it should probably be white as well too. And then the next probably super important thing to talk about is the flat roof. So I've already walked it. It seems remarkably stable, in good shape. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of plywood replacement. You do get 100 square feet of plywood replacement with your new roof. So if there are any small areas on the roof, I'm sure it's going to be more than well covered with the 100 square feet. Very rarely ever do we have to charge extra for plywood. But if we do, we'll let you know. Enough of that. So the most important thing about this flat roof, I think, is to talk about the pitch or the slope. The way that the water goes away from the house. The best part about this flat roof, despite the condition of it that it's in, is that it has a built-in slope of 1, which means that for every foot, it actually gradually slopes 1 inch for every foot. That's the best part because we avoid having to use this very expensive taper board system to give it exactly what you have already. And that's the slope moving the water away from the roof. We'll talk a little bit more when we walk over there. It's really important to talk about when we blend in the shingles with the flat roof material, how important that transition is. This is representing that right there. Since we're talking about flat roofs, again, it does feel way better than I thought underfoot, so I'm really happy about that. It goes without saying how super important it is to do this correctly. You have all these huge openings. Water easily can get along the chimney down into the house. So we're gonna reflash entirely, make all that tip top. Skylights, you have two 2x4 skylights. The only thing literally separating you from a hurricane, there's these plastic old bubbles. So let's get rid of those and put the impact rated skylights. They're not that expensive, $5.95 each. I'll build that into the estimate. And then walking around, one of the first things I do when I get up on the roof, I start looking for lift up. So these guys are starting to pull away. I have a feeling that you already knew that though. That's a nail pop. You can see the nails starting to pop up through here. And then there's some rips. It looks like somebody diligently went around and started gluing back down shingles all over the place in the effort to avoid what's continuing to happen, and that's the lift up. So yeah, it's definitely ready for a new roof. I noticed that the shingles, I touched one and it literally just started to fall apart. Look at this poor guy. I literally just touched it and it's very brittle. So the shingles have gotten extraordinarily dried out. Here's the other skylight. We're gonna reboot all the bathroom vents. This one, that one over there. And last 20 seconds, real quick, let me talk about how we're gonna do your roof for you since I don't have the opportunity yet to talk to you in person. Forgive my obvious metal example here. You didn't mention whether you wanted metal or shingle, so I'm gonna talk about shingle. But it's really important, not necessarily the top layer, it's all the layers underneath. So imagine this with me, including the flat roof. We're gonna remove all the shingles, old flat roof material, get down to the bare plywood. Just like I talked about, anything remotely bad, we're gonna replace, and typically we don't have to charge extra for it. You get 100 square feet with your roof. One of the two really important building code upgrades says place a new nail holding your plywood to your roof trusses every 6 inches. We go every 4 to 5 inches. We're gonna double, triple the number of nails holding your plywood to your roof trusses. The other really super important upgrade is the peel and stick, the waterproof barrier. We're gonna cover every inch of this bare plywood roof with waterproof barrier. Coincidentally, your flat roof material is really 2-3 layers of waterproof peel and stick. So that's really important. And then we're gonna put your 30-year shingles on top of that. I jokingly tell customers you can pick whatever color you want, but literally you get no say in the manufacturer. We only carry Landmark, Certainty Landmark Series shingles. It's the heaviest, thickest shingles out there for the same price as the other ones. So that's why we picked this one as our go-to. And that's really the whole thing about your roof. Thanks so much.